Hello everybody and welcome back to 3-2 Brew. Today we're taking on the last two matches in our highly contested pre-fire league. In all seriousness though, we are currently 2-2. We've had some interesting matchups against some really cool decks. Again, I cannot preach the pre-fire rhetoric enough. Currently, it's a great meta. Recently, Creep and Chill was banned, which in my opinion opened up a ton of options for creature strategies. It's an awesome format. I have a total blast playing it. So, highly recommend it. But today we're going to be taking CoCo through the last two matches of the league. Very excited for that. I am hoping that we hit some good draws and gets us maybe into the playoffs. I don't think so, but maybe. I don't really know how the playoffs last time was a cut the top two because we don't have too many players yet. So if you're interested, click the links below. There's a ton of info on how to join and all the ban lists and all that. So, but yeah, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to play some spirits. We're trying to play Collected Company because we like to gamble a little bit, even though I don't gamble in real life. I like to gamble a little bit when it comes to Magic. And basically just trying to get some good synergy together, some kind of, tempo loss, hopefully, for the opponent, and we can get ahead with Noble Hierarchs, and pretty much just playing a good old tempo Collected Company deck, and I'm very excited for it. Fun fact, which I haven't quite told yet, is that when I played Pioneer, I was too poor to buy this deck. I had just entered the workforce, so I didn't have a lot of money, but I loved Spirits and Pioneer, but I could never afford the CoCo version in paper. So I played Mono Blue, which I also enjoyed quite a bit, but yeah, I'm very excited. So without further ado, let's hop on in. I think I'm going to rock and roll with this. No complaints. Last league, he was on black-white, like Deck Gael prison, kind of. Down to 5. Oh boy. Maybe he's on a combo deck? I hope not. Oh, that's Titan. Alrighty, let's get Vile going. Titan. I'm not very good at Titan, so this is going to be an ugly game for me, unfortunately. It's like third bouncing with no mana floating? Okay. Should have activated Vile. That's my fault. Here I can actually play a tap land and then portal in Mausoleum Wander. Try and get him. Once we get up to 3, though, we're going to be looking kind of nice. We got a very 3-heavy hand. Explore. Okay, we have to play an additional land. Valeria West and then a bounce land. Okay. So Summoner's Pact can pop off now. Yes, I'm going to pop in Mausoleum Wanderer. Put a charge counter. Yes, I do wish to use that ability. No fetch lands here. I'm going to hold up Spell Queller. Just try and get this going. I mean, they could theoretically... I guess they couldn't actually just go straight Titan here. Okay. That one I will gank. Whoops. I promise you I've played on MTGO before. Spell Queller on the Azusa. We're going to take that one for the road. Okay. Right there. Nice little Malsey setup. Okay. We take that when we can get it. I forgot to activate Aether Vial again. I'm just clicking through. Turbo speed here. Attack. I'm going to play Noble Hierarch. And then I'm also going to pull... I'm actually going to fetch here. Go and grab... I think Hollow Fountain untapped. We're going to slam in a nice little Geist here. No response to that. And then we can always portal for Malsey if they do any kind of tutor ability. Portal and Drog Skull Captain. Transmute. Okay. So they're going to get Summoner's Pact here. Which means I should probably chill. Engineered explosives. I can't do nothing about engineered explosives. Okay. I will activate for Drog Skull Captain. Put a charge counter on, no questions, no problems. No. CoCo is a beautiful pickup. Let's just get in, get nasty on it. Push the damage where we can. Okay. And then I'm going to play Moorland Haunt. They're going to slam Engineered Explosives here. I think I hold the CoCo. Scry 2, then draw a card. Malsey doesn't hit Engineered Explosives. They need 2 mana to activate Engineered Explosives. They have the 3 colors as they need. And they'll have 1 floating. Yeah, so they have exactly enough. No response. They have to pop it now if they want to pop it. I'm going to float a... So we have... I'm going to float a blue. They get their Azusa back? Oh, it only hits 3 drops. I always forget how Engineered Explosives work. Blue-white, Moorland Haunt. Gonna eat the Drog Skull Captain. End step. How did I... Oh. Yeah, that makes total sense, actually. No response. No. Supreme Phantom is nasty. Just drop this in. We get in for lethal. GG. Almost miscalculated with the darn Moorland Haunt. I got too excited. They're Titan. So Path is nice. And Negate is pretty nice. I don't know if Kira really has a place in the pile. They probably have something to deal with it. But I assume it'd be like Electrickery or something. On the draw, Aether Vial is still good. They could always bring in Stony Silence. They have access to white. So I'm actually going to drop the vials on the draw. This might be an incorrect call, but I'm just going off a vibe here. I like Thalia a lot. Let's see. Deputy could be really good. I think less Selfless Spirits. Ultimately. Puts us a little light on creatures. Maybe... That'll be alright. Alrighty here. On the draw again. We got a Negate. We got a Path. I actually don't hate this. Yeah, I'll put that in tapped. Preordain's totally fine. Next turn we can get kind of funky. We can put in a Malsey. Let him wander around for a wee bit. And then we can just hit something with a Path. It's an Azusa. Life looks a little bit worse for us. It's just an Explore. Okay. Probably shouldn't be saying okay to that, but I'm not mad about it. Stuff could be much worse. We got one more land drop then? They don't have it. Interesting. Okay. Supreme Phantoms are kind of clogging up my hand, but that's okay. I'm representing Spell Queller. 4 mana. Yeah, there's the Azusa. We're gonna grab Forest. And then I'll grab Temple Garden. Or sorry, Hollow Fountain here? Just to keep the mana alright. White, blue, please? Blue and 1. For a Spell Queller. Okay. Snatch that up. +1/+1. Green Sun Zenith for Dryad Arbor. That Misty's a really nice pickup. That allows me to go blue 1 Supreme Phantom and start beating in. Malzy becomes another possibility to do some blocking. I hold up both Path and Negate. Or not both. Okay, here comes the Titan. Very nice. Titan the long way. And here's where we're going to get to see. So they get Radiant Fountain and they get a Scry off of it. Beautiful. There's a Preordain. They don't have the knowledge that we're about to path them. They want 1 top, 1 bottom. I'm going to path because I can. Not letting them trigger. Getting it out of the way. We do not want another land, so I'm going to fetch Temple Garden and tapped. That's a fantastic pickup. I should have played my my Supreme Phantom there. I missed a couple points of damage. I'm going to hold it back for double negate. I don't know what they could have, but I don't want to find out. If that makes any sense. And then next turn, we're going to push 2, 4, 4. That'll get there by 1. Unless they have another Radiant Fountain. Negate does not hit Titan. And that's a legitimate issue. It looks like they just have the Titan. Swag Tusk. Oh. You know. Okay. Transmute. See what they snatch. Slaughter Pact. Okay. They want a Slaughter Pact now? They don't. I'm gonna green and I'm gonna blue 1 for a Supreme Phantom. Let that do its funkiness. I assume here they're gonna Slaughter Pact and they're probably gonna hit my Spell Queller. Which at this point in the game, I don't think I'm too buggered about it. Because if they transmute and then, but if they get prime time, I guess they could haste them up. That's fine. They can have Azusa back. I'm more worried about a pact at this point. No problems with me. I'm going to get in here for 6. Call her a day. I'm very worried about another pact. You got to pay 3, but that's not really a thing to them. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Okay. Fran is like an expert Titan player, by the way. He's like very good at Titan. It's another Vesuva coming in as a bounce land for a Radiant. I don't know. We're going to transmute here. Okay. Engineered explosives on 2. That I cannot allow. I will negate. Swag Tusk gets in. Okay. Another cavern. Seachrome Coast. Attack with everyone. Let's just send a CoCo downtown. See what happens. Selfless Spirit and then Spell Queller. Okay. Any order. GG's. Put that on the bottom. Okay, and we get the W versus Titan. Wow. I'm kind of shocked, I ain't gonna lie to you. 2-0 win versus Titan is rather surprising. Darn, I guess maybe this deck preys on those type of decks, but I really don't know. I don't know where this deck falls into it. I call it tempo because it feels that way, but hey, great match. Titan's a deck that is far too big of a big brain for me. My brain's a little smooth, so it was a ton of fun. I had a blast. Excited to get a W, honestly. Let's hop into the next match. Look at this. We are on the play. We will take that. This is one of the boldest keeps. I think I have to sadly mulligan it. This looks much nicer. I want to say we can bottom Drogskull Captain here. Yeah, I'm going to bottom Drogskull Captain. I'm going to lead Noble Hierarch. Get our ramp going. We can hold up Spell Queller for turn 2. Or develop Supreme Phantom, but we're probably going to hold up Spell Queller. Goblin Guide. Okay. Noble Hierarch is revealed. So we're playing against Sly here, which is very nice. I am going to develop a Noble Hierarch. And then I'm going to play a Supreme Phantom. Yes, I could hold up a Spell Queller, but Supreme Phantom blanks Goblin Guide. If they want to spend a bolt on it, they got to spend a bolt. This deck's very good that we're playing against. Okay, they put a Searing Blaze at us. Okay. Let's see. What do we want to do here? Quite interested in a Deputy of Detention. I think that's the route I'm going to go. White, Deputy, get rid of the Goblin Guide, pass it on through. This is probably a tough matchup for us. I don't really have a lot of tech out the sideboard. Swift Spear. Searing Blaze. Okay, they get back their Goblin Guide. Yep, we're going to take some nasty damage here. Alright, Flooded Strand enters the hand. Drogskull Captain. Blue, white. Blue. For a Drogskull Captain. It's totally fine with me. I will lay a block down on a Goblin Guide here. Lightning Helix. Okay, yeah, that's going to be GG's. Well, they got there, and they got there quick. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. We fall to Sly. Let's see. Night of Autumn's nice. I like that, and I like Negate as well. Path to Exile is a potential maybe, but I'm not really in love with it. Kira also. They want to get rid of my stuff that saves me life. Rattle Chains does a bit. Selfless Spirit's very good. Mausoleum Wanderer is quite good. I think that we might be too slow for Aether Vial. I'm going to get rid of Kira. I don't think that's where we want to be at. Let's see. Drogskull Captain is good, but not great. Supreme Phantom and Drogskull help us get a bit higher. I think we're going to try and play a bit more of a mid-range game here. We're probably going to want that, though. That's nice. Thalia is fantastic. Yeah, I think Drogskull Captain's probably some of the least impactful. So we're going to trim it down and put it in. Definitely taking the play again. Losing to Sly on the play is a tough feeling, tough look. Mulligan here. I like this a lot more. I'm going to put that Horizon Canopy on the bottom of the deck. It's paying the life that's going to kill me, and I don't really want to deal with that. We should draw land. I am going to fetch. Go and grab an island, play out a Mozzie. See what they have. If they open up on Goblin Guide. They kept 7. It's always a bad look for us playing against Sly. Yep, Goblin Guide. Okay, that's a CoCo. That's not necessarily good either. Okay, we can lay a block down here if need be. Okay. Give me a land. Path to Exile. Alright. Not mad about that. Okay. No response. You're gonna Searing Blaze me? I'm actually gonna sack this. That way they don't get the 3 life. I'm gonna pass along. They know I have a path. Swift Spear, okay. I'd love to see a Lightning Helix here. That's a good pickup as well. I am actually going to path the Monastery Swift Spear. Okay, they did not have another basic. That is exceptionally interesting. I'm going to fetch here. I'm going to just get basic forest. Play this out. I'm going to just gain 4 life. Okay. I'm just going to chill. Yeah, I have Spell Queller offline here, but I don't want to toy with them at a low life total. Once we get CoCo online, life will be a lot better. There's a Boros Charm. That's a bad look. Strong chance they have spells. Give me a land, another CoCo. Life is looking really rough for us. Not hitting the lands we need to. Alright, we're just going to pass through. No spells from them. Wooded Foothill. No spells from them either. Very interesting. Okay. I mean, we are sitting flush with CoCos. Put this in tapped. Yes, I could pay 2 life, but that puts us to 9. We want to be able to deploy the Spell Queller at will here. Yes, CoCo could hit a Spell Queller, but it's not guaranteed to. They're just biding their time as well. I'm actually going to play out the Noble Hierarch. That gives them something to hit with Searing Blaze, but Less worried about that as well. Their deck has some instant speed stuff, but it's not huge. There's also a lot of sorcery speed stuff. That negates a great pickup. That lets me deploy a spell queller and negate if necessary. Another land lets me hold up CoCo and negate. I'm just going to wait for one more land, I believe. Ask and you shall receive. Okay. They've got to have a ton of burn right now. I'm going to tap down here, and they're definitely going to go for it. If they can, at least. Selfless Spirit and a Mausoleum Wanderer. Or, sorry, a Knight of Autumn. Any order. Gain 4 life. Starts putting some pressure on the board. They want a Boros Charm. That's one of the more worst things they could do, so I'm going to negate that. It's their highest damage spell in the deck. We just netted 8 life right there. Oh, GG's. Wow, we got there. Okay. Paths are a really strong contender for just tossing them in the deck. We do have 31 creatures. I think that it's almost worth it. I think we can trim one deputy and play a 61 card special. Not as high on deputy because it simply lacks the ability to stick around. Doesn't get buffed by any of our lords. It's not a full swing and a hit, so. I like Supreme Phantom a lot here. Rattle Chains is a good backup. Knight of Autumn helps us stabilize. I'm a huge fan of this personally. Goblin Guide's actually a great hit. That's a deputy. Okay. Combat. Here they can attack with their guide. I can lay down. If I don't like what it is. Monastery Swift Spear as well. Bloodstained Mire. Okay. Rift Bolt hit. Okay. Goblin Guide. Noble Hierarch. I'm not really in the business for that right now. I'm going to just put this in tapped. Spell Queller is not a bad pickup. I'm going to stick this on, my brain broke for a second, Spirit. And I'm just going to play the Spirit out. Ripbolt comes off Suspend. That's going to do 3 to me. That's going to pump up the Monastery Swift Spear. I have a block on the Goblin Guide. They pointed at the Supreme Phantom. So that Supreme Phantom became a 2 mana. Gain 2 life situation. Next turn's probably going to be Knight of Autumn. All right, Lava Spike's a really tough one. And a Bolt. I'm down to 8. That's 6. That's a negate. We're going to have to spend another life here. I think we might actually just be dead. They have 1 card in hand. I have to pay a life if I play a 3-drop. That puts me at 1. I'm dead to any... it doesn't put me to 1, actually. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play my Knight of Autumn. I'm going to gain my 4 life, and I'm going to try and lay a nice block down here. They have 2 1-mana spells. It's very ugly for me. Path. Yes, I will grab out probably a forest. I don't know why my screen is completely black, but it is. I can play double blue spell here. Actually, I can't. Because of Horizon Canopy. Just doing the worst to me. Hmm. I'm kind of trapped. What I think I do is I need. Yeah, I don't have. I think I'm dead. I don't think I have a way out of this. I have to pay if I double spell. Yeah, GG's. Super close. Nothing we could do though. I didn't have a way out there at the end. Just got down to that one life and couldn't quite get out of it. So, hey, win some, lose most, but a great match here against Sly. I'm glad this deck's the best burn deck in the format now. It's as it should be. It's a beautiful deck. I've played with it before and I really enjoy it. So, let's talk about our 3-3 league. Well, we ended up going 3-3 through the league, which is not horrible in my opinion. Some really good matches there. Just couldn't quite get what we needed against Sly, which I think is just going to be a natural predator of us. I think that Horizon Canopy is a fantastic card, but I think having 3 of them is just not worth the time nor the effort. I think putting a second Temple Garden in would not be the worst call, or a second Razor Verge Thicket. But we could also relook at the mana base and see if it was worth the time. I enjoy the deck a lot. This is one of my favorite decks to play. It's a blast. I think it's packed full of good stuff, exactly what you're kind of looking for out of it. The sideboard could probably use some tuning and some love, to be entirely transparent. I'll think on it. I'm not playing this next league. I got to figure out what deck I'm going to play, but I just like trying to give as much of a highlight to decks that I enjoy in this format on this channel. Sly, which we just lost to, is one of my favorite decks in the format. It's the only modern deck I've ever owned. I've played one modern FNM. I got whooped up on. I went like 0-3 or whatever. But I enjoy it. I love playing with the cards in it. It's a great burn deck. It operates a lot different than the burn of pre-modern, since it moves it essentially fully at, not fully at, sorry, instant speed. It has a good bit of sorcery interaction as well. But yeah, ton of fun. It's a blast. I had a great run through the league here. Fantastic opponents. Saw a great smattering of decks. If you're someone who really enjoys playing different decks and decks of the old times, one could say, this is sort of the format for you. It's got everything you kind of want out of it. And that's why I personally highly recommend it, because you can play, like for me, I never played Modern of Old. This lets me enjoy some version, even though it's not a one-to-one of Modern of Old. I get to play with Snapcaster mages and different things, and I see certain archetypes like Mardu Mancer that I've never played. It's a blast. I enjoy it a ton. The format post bans has been super fun, super enjoyable. I cannot recommend it enough. So I appreciate you all tuning in here to watch and hanging out with me as I went through this pre-fire league. So without further ado, this has been 3-2 Brew. Until next time, cheers.